Hello, it's Antonio from Body by Bates. Today I'm going to talk about ADHD. Everybody have some kind of mental stuff going on these days, and they're labeling our kids. They're saying to us that the kid need medication in order to function. And why is it nowadays we need so much medication even for kids? I mean, we grew up without medication. All you need is a good slap and go sit in the corner. But now they're saying that they have ADHD, and some of the symptoms that they have is they daydream a lot, forget things a lot, talk too much, make careless mistake, unnecessary risks, um, talking out of terms, having difficulties um, just communicating or just talking to anybody. I think these things are mainly because we're giving them the cell phone. The cell phone, you know, most people use it like a babysitter or the television. They just give it to the child to keep them occupied. But they're not developing any kind of skills or communication skills with anybody. It's easier for you to say, take the phone and play a game and all of these things. And the child just there for hours while you go about doing whatever you do. And as long as the child is not making any noise, it's okay with you. But what it is doing to the child is he's not learning. He's not going to be able to function as a human being. They're going to end up being in therapy, committing suicide, no skills at all, how to even have a relationship, a serious relationship. So some of the kids can't live without it. You see the parents, they're going to not fancy if the child phone is not charged or the child realizes the phone is dying. It's like the world is coming to an end. Everybody's running around trying to find a charger. And this is not good for the future of your child. This is your child. You cannot allow society to dictate how you raise your child, because most of us as Caribbean people grow up in a household where you know certain things you just don't do. You don't talk back to your parents. You move as you're told. Don't talk. You go in a corner and sit down and all of these things. You might look and say, well, then this is a form of slavery, or but it's for respect and development. You could ask President Trump. Nobody can tell him what to do and what, because he wasn't raised up that way. He wasn't brought up that way to say, well, then you're wrong, or you can't do this or you can't do that. This is the privilege that these guys have. But is it a privilege? Is it something that is opening up the child's mind to function in a world where you have to know how to be diplomatic, you have to know how to get along with other people regardless of how you feel, because you have to realize the world or the sun does not revolve around you. So one thing that I suggest is that take the phone every now and then. When I'm traveling with my children, even although they're adults now, I say put away the phone, look outside, look on the scenery, just take some time away from the phone. Everybody might be upset, but for a while they end up start talking to each other, and it becomes a more memorable trip. You remember that time when we drive to New York. I remember that time when we drive to Chicago. Having that time to just spend with each other and just communicate with each other instead of on the phone. I've seen it even with adults, you know. The mother and the father sit at a table and both of them just on their phone, just strolling through, and no communication. And they wonder why things it's not the way it should be. There was a study. They were talking. They put some kids in a room, and they said to them, "We're going to give you this candy. Um, you know, we're going to leave this candy, but do not touch it for at least 5 minutes. And if the 5 minutes go by and you don't touch it, we're going to give you two candy." And a lot of kids in there, they walk around frustrated, they can't get to eat the candy. And then some of them eventually go over and start eating the candy. Some of them start hitting their head on the wall. They're frustrated. But what they realize, the ones them that stay and did not touch the candy and just stay calm and end up getting two candy at the end of the study, 15 years later, when they go back and check them out in their life, they realize that they were more successful. They were doing better than the ones them that took the candy in the first couple of seconds or minutes, you know? So in this life, you have to have some form of discipline. For the drugs, porn, alcohol, all of these things, if you don't have the discipline to say no and, you know, I need to stop doing this, then your life, I don't know what you're going to do with your life, because I don't think you're going to live a life worth living, you know? So it starts from their teenager, it starts from their kids, from their children, from they learning the ABC. You have to implement certain things that will help them to be a better person in this world, because everything is with consequences. You cannot just live life, you know, if you're doing good, good is going to happen. If you're doing bad, bad is going to happen. And there are consequences in this life. So some of the things that I did with my children, like when they come home from school, no matter how busy you are, you say, what did you learn today? And sometimes they might teach them some stuff that is not true, and you're able to discuss it with them and say, no, that is not true. Go look in this book, go on the computer, and we get the truth about what is going on. Because people out there, if you're not teaching your children, somebody will teach them, and maybe not what you want them to learn. So you have to have a base to stand on, you know. Send them to church or to Sunday school, you know, something for them to learn some kind of discipline, whether sports or, you know, some kind of activity. The problem is nowadays in this country, nobody is a loser. Everybody gets prize, no matter if they come last. So it doesn't motivate anybody to do better. It's like they're setting up a herd, I don't know, where you just accept whatever it is. You know, there is no challenge, you know. I mean, competition is very vital. You know, you notice all these companies now taking over, buying out each other, and then eventually there is no service because there is nobody to complain to. Or even if you're complaining, you're going over to the next guy who is the same company, just different name. So this is where we're leading to. Everybody just existing. We're just living. And it's your job to create the future, because you're the one who's going to teach your child how to be better. And if everybody take that responsibility of disciplining their child at home instead of waiting until they're in a prison cell, you know, to start crying and complain because of lack of discipline. I mean, people can say all they want about, oh, well, I'm going to raise the child the right way. And, you know, things happen. Yes, they get, you know, friends influence them and stuff. But sometimes when I was younger, And my friend would like say, oh, make her go do this, make her go do that. I was like, what would happen to my mother if she found out I was doing this, you know? How disappointed she would be, you know? So I'm like, yo, whatever you guys want to do, you can do it. But I'm not going to do it because my mother expects more from me. And when your child can look upon you as a role model or look upon you and say, well, I don't want to disappoint dad, I don't want to disappoint mom, then they're going to have a better life. When they don't care whether mom curse or cry or whatever it is, then you're in trouble. So my thing is to encourage you younger generation, rearing child, please conform and find some kind of discipline for your child, whether it be sports. Be very vigilant with the coaches and all of these people because you don't want them to take over your child. Be very vigilant. The money is not it. I leave coming off of the road, I'm making how much $1,000 having a trucking company to come home because I realized that my children was growing up without me, and all the money in the world will not count for anything like the love that you will share and give to them and teach them to be a better person in this world. So please stop spoiling your kids and thinking that you love them. If you're spoiling your child, you do not love them at all, because you're going to be the one who's crying and they're the one that's going to be punished. So that's all I have to leave with you today. You can contact me at bodybybates.com, bodybybates85 at gmail.com, or Instagram bodybybates. Have a great day.